Hi there everybody, it's Rarity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today for a card making tutorial using these three lovely colours. So today I'm going to use Poppy Parade, Bumblebee and Early Espresso as my colour palette. This is a colour palette that was selected by Vicky Lou Designs for her Creative Colour Challenge, which actually ended yesterday. So you can't use these colours and participate in this challenge now because that's closed, but if you hop over to the associated blog post, which will be in the description, linked there for you, then you will be able to see what this week's challenge is and see whether my design can be applied to the same colour palette or whether you can think of something else. So I like these colours together. They did speak to me and I thought, oh, willing to give that a go. So that's what we're working with, and the inspiration card is this, and I'm going to show you how you can make it really quickly. It's just not going to take very long to make at all, especially once you've got all the bits and bobs cut out. Okay, and the stamp set that I'm using is this one called Blossoms in Bloom. This is in the annual catalogue. It does have a coordinating set of dies as well, which I really love. I've used this stamp set a lot, and it's one that I'm really hoping doesn't leave us when we get our new annual catalogue a little bit later in the year, in the summer. So loads and loads we can do with this. I'm just using the main image and one of the sentiments. We could have done a similar design using the smaller flowers and stamped all over and stuff and added some leaves, but I wanted to make you something really quick and easy and show you how you can achieve that. And you could make these in a batch as well, because what we're going to use is the Stamparatus tool. So if you haven't come across or haven't seen it in the catalogue, this is the Stamparatus tool. Okay, so it's about 7 inches square, a bit more with the other bits and pieces. So this is a stamp positioning tool basically. So when you purchase this, £45-ish, exact price I couldn't tell you, but it's in that region. You will get 2 of these clear plates that I'm just lifting across here that hinge in here, so that you can apply your stamps, whether they be clear photopolymer or red rubber cling stamps. You can apply your stamps to the window and pop them down on there. You'll get 2 magnets, 2 bar magnets, which can be stored underneath the tool here in these little stations here. Now I've just got these little bits of washi tape on here which helps me pull them up. They are really strong, so don't get them don't let them touch, otherwise they will sandwich together so tight you won't be able to get them apart and they might break. And just be careful, if you get them together and they pinch your skin, it will hurt. So I pretty much try and use just one at a time for that reason. Okay, so two magnets. You can buy replacement magnets, 2 clear, what do you call these, stamping plates. Okay, and then you will in your original packet you'll get a black foam mat, which I've just got here. Just grab that for you, I should have got that out before. This is a wipe clean surface with the grids on it. It's in metric, but we have got the inches around the edges as well, so hopefully you can see that in the shot there. Got the inches on the outside as well, but the actual grid is in centimetres. And you get a black foam mat like this, okay, which is your cushion, if you like, for your photopolymer stamps. So if you're using cling, you don't need the black foam. When you're using photopolymer, put your black foam in and it gives you the extra cushion in there. Now you can upgrade and get the deluxe mat, which is what I like to use. This is good just to have anyway as a separate stamping pad if you need that extra cushioning behind your stamps to get a good print. So this is the deluxe mat. So it's still the black foam, but it's got this layer on top which is wipe clean, and then you've got the grid on top as well, which is great, because with the plain black you lose that grid. Okay, so super duper tool. The hinge sections are at the side and at the top, so in theory you can stamp 4 stamps in one project. Okay, just bringing you out a little bit there. Okay, so in theory we can go 1, we can flip it round and do 2, and we can do the same at the top. We can go down for 3, flip it round and do 4. So you can do that as well, so it's really great. Fantastic if you've got a bit of dexterity problems and you find it hard to push down on stamps as well, and it's perfect for these larger stamps where they don't fit comfortably on. See, I don't like using anything beyond an E block, so there is an F block, but it's huge and quite heavy. Okay, so this is an E block, and that, you know, it fits in your hand, but only just about. Okay, I wouldn't say I have particularly large hands, I wouldn't say I have particularly small hands either, so it can be a bit, you know, sort of tricky if you've got a little bit of arthritis or anything else that restricts your movement and being able to hold that large block. So this is perfect, and it also lends itself to batch producing, so you can stamp and stamp and stamp and stamp, and it will be in the same place every time. That's the whole point, right? That is the key advantage to this. You can stamp multiples at a time. Okay, so when we think about what we're making, what we're going to do is we're going to get our yellow flowers and our sentiment done and dusted, and then we can just add the centres, so it's going to be super quick to do. I'll just talk you through the layers that I've got. Card base is Bumblebee. I don't have any Poppy Parade or enough early espresso to make a different coloured card base, although I will just pull in some white cardstock at the end and show you what it looks like on a white card base. And then I went with mini layers. So what I mean by my mini layers is, okay, so cards base is 4 1/8 of an inch across. Okay, so my mini layers, okay, the outer layer is going to be an inch smaller than that, so this is 3 1/8 of an inch. That's early espresso, sorry. It's 3 1/8 of an inch, and I score it at 5 7/8, so this is 4 7/8 high. So my layer is 1/8 of an inch shorter. So in other words, an inch shorter than what it would be if I did a full panel on the side. So if I was cutting a full panel for the card, it would be 4 by 5 3/4. So this is 3 by 4 3/4. Yeah. Okay, so just take off an inch. So when I made my project though, I felt like it needed the extra layer, so I just popped in another one, which is just 1/8 of an inch bigger than that early espresso, which is 3 1/4 by 5. Okay, so those are the layers. So once you've got all these bits done and dusted, or at least got all your stamping panels done, you can quite easily whistle through your stamping and get those done. So we need our flowers to be on the bottom there. Just keeping you zoomed out so that you can see exactly what I'm doing and see the full tool in shot there. Okay. Now I happen to have an extra doohickey that I just have in my craft stash, which helps me just keep this away from the corner. What I find is if you put it right up in the corner, obviously that restricts the overhang either side. Okay, so if that's right up there, I can't have that overhanging, yeah. And this doohickey that I've had in my stash for ages just helps to do that. You could use a piece of cardstock or cut your cardstock bigger and then cut it down afterwards. There's loads of ways to get around that. And then I am going to use one of the actual Stamparatus magnets just to hold it in place at the bottom there. And because I've already done that, I know that I should get some clearance on there, but not quite. Nope, I've put it just a little bit too far over because the stamp is hitting the corner of that magnet. So I'm just going to shuffle it across a little and just make sure I can get that stamp down without interference from anything else. Alright, so that's what we're doing. It's the Bumblebee ink that we're doing. Another little tip is to put a stamp case underneath where your stamp is sat there. Gives you a flat surface to ink. And just like you would normally, light tapping over your ink, over your stamp, sorry. Normally we would take the stamp to the ink pad, wouldn't we? But in this case, we're going to do it this way around. And once we've applied our ink, we can flop the door over and we can apply some gentle pressure to that. And I've just lost my, I'm looking for my soft cloth, which I have put down. There it is. I was like, I am going to need that. I'll put it somewhere safe. So this just helps you be able to rub all over the back of your stamp. So I'm having to go around my sentiment stamp. And you'll be able to see that it's made contact with the cardstock. Now, if for any reason it doesn't quite turn out, or you want to intensify the colour, you can reposition your card, because you'll know exactly where it's got to go because everything's been put in place. You can re-ink it and go again, right? It's going to go in exactly the same place, see? Right, and you can keep going and going and going, okay, and make multiples. Okay, so this deluxe mat is wiped clean, so I can just wipe away that excess ink. And I can use my Stampin' Chamois to just wipe that clean. So if we were using multiple colours, you can wipe it clean on the plate there and go again without having to reposition it. Okay, so I'm going to flip that round now. I'm going to turn it, make it 90 degrees, it lifts out, and then you can switch that over and I can use my sentiment stamp, which I've already got positioned on the other side there, which I'm doing with Early Espresso ink. So again, you just want some light tapping, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a not very good job of that. Okay, look, it hasn't come out very well, but it doesn't matter, I can go over it, re-ink it. It still hasn't come out very well. That's funny, the irony. Okay, and then actually doing it a couple of times means that it's nice and dark as well. So no, nothing lost there, nothing lost. Sorry, I've got short on space today. Got a lot of stuff on the go at the moment. Okay, so like I say, in theory we could just keep going and going and make loads of these toppers to then mat up later. Okay, and then you can just store that away nice and flat. All right, so that's that. Then the only other thing we want to do is just add the little centres, which I'm going to do with the Poppy Parade ink. Oh, excuse me, excuse me. Oh, bless me. Excuse me. Okay, so it wouldn't take long just to fill in those little centres, preferably in the middle. Okay, just giving that a quick wipe off because I just like to keep things clean as I go, especially with the red and pink inks. So that is it in terms of stamping. See, quick, easy to do. So all we've got to do now is layering. Okay, so I'm not adding any extra embellishments or anything like that. We're just gonna keep it really super simple, super simple. Okay, remember, if you get your 3 edges lined up. The last one should take care of itself. And I like Stampin' Seal because it's quick and easy and generally mess free. To do that, and then we can put that onto our card base. Same sort of thing, we'll make sure all your borders look good before you drop your 4th side down. And pop that down. Oh, I was going to show you what it looked like on a white card base. Pooh, never mind. On a white card base, it does. I think the yellow really stands out. But I wanted to stick with the whole the colour palette and just keep it in there. Okay, so really easy to achieve. I don't know whether you can tell on there that this one I stamped once, and then this one was the one where we did it a couple of times, so it does come out a little bit darker and helps it to stand out from the rest of the stamping. Could have used a punch and applied it afterwards. We've got some really nice early espresso suede trim that we could have used as well. Different card base colours, all within that same palette, but there's lots of opportunities to mix and match those and create something different. But I hope that's been helpful and given you an idea of how you can quickly create some really pretty cards. All the links are in the description, of course, so do take a look there. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye everyone, bye.